Hi, Steve from Generate Business. Today I'm going to talk about the difference between Mailchimp and ActiveCampaign. So my discussion today is really also about the differences between, but also for users. If you're already an ActiveCampaign user, but you've come from the Mailchimp background, what I'm finding is a lot of customers using ActiveCampaign are actually not using ActiveCampaign like it really is designed and should be. If you've got within your ActiveCampaign account lots of lists of different imports and then you're mailing to them, that's not really the way we believe it's designed to be used. So today's talk is just about trying to clarify that for you. And the next video I'll do will be about how, if you've done it the wrong way in ActiveCampaign, if you've done lots of lists, how to correct that and how to get it back to how I believe it should be and how ActiveCampaign would work better for you. So if I go back to historic, Mailchimp's been around a long time and we used it ourselves for probably 8 or 10 years and we've shifted to ActiveCampaign, so I understand both. You've got list A, B, C, you've got lots of lists, and every time you want to do an email campaign or market, you've imported your current list of contacts to email, because if you did one every week or every 3 weeks or every month or whatever you might do as a newsletter, the list is outdated and some people might have closed up business or they've not got them as customers anymore and there's a different group. So you've imported another list. The issue, as many know with Mailchimp, is you're paying, if someone's on list A, B, C and then F and G and then I, you're going to pay 5 or 6 times for that contact in your list. With ActiveCampaign, everyone is actually within the ActiveCampaign account only once. You might be on a couple of lists, but they're only paying once for the time that they're being imported. And you can, so to counter the lots of lists from Mailchimp, to explain it this way, if you have updated, you may be using a CRM or some accounting software that's not integrated, because ActiveCampaign will integrate with Xero, for example, and you can bring your contacts across automatically through the API. But if you want to bring a group of clients across for a certain email, you import the same email again, but you're not adding to it, it just puts it, but you import it with a tag. And what that tag is what starts your email campaign or your automation. So I'm hoping I'm explaining this clear enough. So if you're already using ActiveCampaign now, but you've got lots of lists, this is what we recommend as the best practice, is you have a main list. And everyone should really go on the main list. There's a couple of exceptions and I'll talk about that in a minute. But so your customers should be on your main list and so should your prospects. So if you're using some sort of automation off your website and you're gathering names, and you should add everyone to main, but your customers will be on customers, because sometimes you only want to email your existing customers and not touch prospects and others that are on a main bigger list. The other thing is a target list. And some go for this and some say no, but our theory is, say you've got a database that you've been given permission to market to. They're not your customers yet, they're not really a prospect either, but you want to market to this target group and you've got full permission to use it. You want to target them, but you don't want that business, that person getting your main newsletter, your normal feeds that you have, newsletters or mail or weekly updates or whatever it is you're giving your customer base. So that would be the exception to the rule. The other thing is suppliers. If you've got suppliers or contacts you don't want to get on newsletters, but you do want to communicate with them, have them as a separate list that's not on main. So that would be the exception to the rule. And the last one we do is a test list. So before we test an advertising campaign or a marketing automation, so we have about 10. We have a Gmail, we have a Hotmail, we have an Outlook. We try and get one of each type of mail, and that goes in our test section to make sure that when we do any automations, campaigns, anything at all, that we test it with the test list, then we know it's going to work properly. So I hope that's explained that side of the lists. But if you're a Mailchimp user, you might not quite understand why only one list or a couple. And it really is because, and it's really from a frustration I had. I've got a company at the moment for the last month or 6, maybe 8 weeks even, has been mailing me, I think they're using a Mailchimp list. I've already bought a product from them, they're still trying to sell it to me, and that's frustrating because I think, don't you value me as a customer? You're trying to sell me something I've already bought. How about what's your next offer, what's your next product? So within ActiveCampaign, we have custom fields and tags. So custom field might be their suburb, their it might be what province or state you're in, depending what country you're in. And that's where you can actually send an email to everyone on your main list that's from a certain province or city or town because you want to target that area. It could also be the sort of product they've got. Now that can be within tags because they've previously downloaded, say you've got a lead magnet on your website. They've already downloaded lead magnet A and B. So you know if they subscribe again, do you want them to have it again, or sometimes you might want to give it to them as much as they want. So tags is conditional. When you want to send an email out, you can make it conditional on content and custom fields or what tags they've got. So that's the quick and easy version of all of that. And the other thing is when you're getting into automations and forms and Google Ads, that's where the tags, the customization from here makes it really easy. So that's for today's wee blog session. And we'll talk to you soon when I'll explain about how to get your lists. If you're an ActiveCampaign user and you've done it wrong, we'll talk about how to get your lists, if you like, back into one list. And I'll talk about that soon. Cheers.